and welcome to the Stupidest Nerds podcast, episode 5. We have reached a whole hand worth of
it's a whole hand
worth of content worthy of your attention. I'm excited.
That's impressive.
You should be. You should be excited. This is a momentous occasion.
It is
5.
I would high five everyone, but we'd clip things and
or flip tables.
Yeah,
there's water in this. So.
Yeah, we're also very concerned about sound quality now.
Yes.
Now that Mark has all the good gear. I'm Mike.
Jeff.
I'm Mark.
And we're going to be talking about a few things, very across the gamut, because it's been a while since we've met up. You know, life happens. So
Absolutely.
It does.
It does.
It does. We have lives. We all have lives.
Surprisingly, you know, it's not just hanging out in my basement all the time.
If only.
That would be sweet.
Having someone serve us food. Having Mike serve us food all the time.
I was going to say, who's the someone? It's usually I go up to the kitchen. So do we want to get started?
Do we want to get started? Let's get started.
All right. So we're going to first start off with some YouTubes, specifically YouTube Red.
Right.
So have you heard about this?
Yes. So YouTube Red is not in Canada yet, but it's a subscription model for YouTube, essentially. So it's the same, as I understand it, it's 99% the same YouTube, right? Except you pay $10 for it a month, American right now. You get no ads, but you also get a subscription. It goes hand in hand with Google Music as well. But I guess the grab and what's going to supposedly bring people in is that there's supposed to be special content made by big YouTubers just for YouTube.
PewDiePie's getting a show.
Yeah, like shows, not just like videos, but like they're going to put actual shows
damn
together.
PewDiePie. There's nothing that I love more than seeing him for 6 minutes. It's seeing him for like an hour.
So an actual long form show.
As I understand
apparently
it,
it's supposed to be like a horror show. Like he's actually got like decent production backing from like I wish I remembered who the name was, but it's a relatively recognizable name in like horror.
That's shocking.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But I mean, the whole idea is subscription service and no ads.
Well,
right?
I think that's the sell to like the regular user is, man, aren't you tired of YouTube ads? And I'm like, not really. Most annoying ones, I just press the button and they go away.
Or some people still use this thing called ad block.
Yeah, but those people are dicks because they're not, because I don't blame anyone for doing it. But it definitely, now that we've I think it's a lot more obvious that, you know, the idea of someone being a YouTuber, I still think maybe outside of like a very loose nerd circle is kind of like you can do that as a job and you get paid. But I think people are kind of like, okay, so they're driven by ads and doing whatever, this cross marketing, things like that. I think people are a little more conscious of it now and aren't using the ad blocks for those kind of things. There's still people that just, I want no ads, I won't see it. There's lots of people like that. But I think people who at least are going to be hip to the idea of, I can't believe I just said hip to the idea.
You said hip.
Of YouTube Red are also going to be people that wouldn't have had ad blocking on in the beginning because they want to help the creator of their content, even though ad revenue is literally at the bottom of the pile in terms of like what actually gets a creator money. Patreon is much better, selling merch, doing affiliate programs, but it is still a source of revenue.
So is this going to replace YouTube? Is YouTube Red going to,
as we know it now, will still exist? It's not going anywhere. And they'll still roll the 30-second or 2-minute ads or whatever they are, the 10-minute ads or whatever they are.
I wish that YouTube would do a better job screening their ads, because some of them are like ads you see on TV. It's just like, here's that ad on YouTube. But then there's like fucking Joe's Appliance Supermart that's got like a 4.5 minute ad.
Hold on here. Don't act like the ads on network TV are always great, okay? Like,
no, but they're always consistently have like 30 seconds. Like there's no 4-minute advertisement.
That's old form, right? Because they only had a slot. They had to make the ad fit into it, right?
Yeah, but I don't want to watch a 4-minute like what
But you get to skip though.
I do get to skip. But I feel bad for, I don't know, if you're too lazy and you can't hit the skip button. Like you're like, I'm not moving. Like maybe you're watching YouTube in bed. You're like, fuck. So now you're just listening about Joe's like.
No, I feel. I mean, I've let an ad run.
There's no need for an ad to be longer than a minute. You can't make an argument that there is ever a need for an ad to be longer than a minute.
Well, I think they're allowing the creators and the audience to decide that, though.
I'm the audience. I'm telling them. Then stop it. Right? Stop that shit.
So honestly, though, I mean, there is that one ad that it's that girl who's hearing for the first time or something like that. Right. Like, I was like, okay, I always see this. I want to see the actual part. I want to go see that video.
So just click on it.
Yeah, so I did. Okay. And then it didn't come up with what I wanted to see. So I had to go actually search for that video.
Well, that's
and then you had to watch an ad in front of that. You're like, oh man, I want to see that.
But I mean,
was it the same ad about the same thing?
No, that's the funny part.
That would be convenient.
But isn't that essentially what it should be as well? Like,
I don't think that doesn't sound like it's YouTube's fault. That sounds like someone not understanding how the platform works. Yeah,
just aren't that great. Like majority of advertisers just aren't that great.
Yeah,
right. But I mean, you got to allow for the good ones to.
It's something YouTube should be helping them with because, like, they could probably. I mean, it's Google. So let's be honest, they know that you clicked on that, and then they also know that you're like, this isn't what I want, and went to search for what you did.
Well, it's Google. They probably have my fingerprints from my laptop after having done that.
They could probably sense the rage building behind.
So we've got him for another 2 seconds.
Quick, show him some more page ranks.
But, the other thing I'm curious about is how many, like, YouTube's a dwindling sort of popularity thing, in my opinion, for people to go to to earn money. There's not a lot of people who are trying to be YouTube content creators anymore. It's more live streamers or stuff like that. I think
it's I guess it's.
I think it depends on what circle you run in, though, right?
Yeah.
So like Twitch is what we're talking about, and when you're referring to like gamers and whatnot, yes, Twitch I feel is definitely the dominant thing. But in the tech field, in the mobile field, but like I was talking to a young lady about like it was for an interview and just about like what she does in her spare time, and like these beauty gurus are really picking up, fitness gurus are really picking up. So there's still like a large segment of YouTube creators and viewers that were just not tapped into, right?
And I think
that's keeping.
I think it's a whole part, like even for the gamers, right? Like there's still a need for YouTube. Like you still have content there. Like every successful Twitch streamer has YouTube content. It's kind of just like the whole holistic thing. Like, you know, you can't just be on Twitter and not have Instagram or Facebook. If you're going to sell yourself as a social media thing, now you may only draw viewers to one specific platform, but you're doing yourself a big disservice by not.
I admit I'm no expert.
Oh, no.
Twitch and YouTube have a certain synergy, and I think that's a good point. The same way, like I feel like kind of, well, Facebook and Instagram definitely do because they're the same, owned by the same company now. Twitter, I don't know what's going on with Twitter, but yeah, I think with YouTube, Red, I think there's definitely an audience out there for. Honestly, I'm going to subscribe because I'll subscribe to Google Music.
Well, I already subscribed. I didn't realize that you also get Google Music, and I already pay $10 US a month. So you might as well give me ad-free YouTube.
Exactly. Right.
I'll probably never watch. Because the idea of YouTubers making content that's like specific, and I know we're going to talk about Netflix, which, you know, offers very high tier content. I feel like whatever's coming from YouTube, I just don't.
It's got to start somewhere,
yeah,
right? Like Netflix didn't start off with like House of Cards either, right?
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't.
Wasn't that the
What?
Wasn't that the first big like Netflix?
No, but what he's saying is they didn't launch
they didn't
with
launch.
their own
okay.
content.
I was going to
launch
say like that
with
was
House of
like their
Cards.
original like we're here to fuck.
Yes. Yes. Once they
DTF.
figured it out,
Yeah.
and once they started losing some key third parties, they're like, "Oh crap, we need to adjust this and make
Sure. Yeah.
make Netflix still the place to go to watch premium content." And they did it work for them. So YouTube will or Google or whoever will figure it out, or they won't. But
Is there going to be a
they gotta
magic
start
price
somewhere.
point?
I feel like $10 is a
$10.
little steep.
No,
Well, I guess
not
with
at all.
when you include Google Music, yeah, that's fair.
$10 is not steep at all.
My thought would be comparing it to Netflix. Netflix is cheaper.
Netflix is not cheaper
Yeah, it is. It's only
$8.
It's $8.
$8.99 now.
for like a standard def.
No, that's
Hell no.
That's regular.
No, Netflix went up in cost.
To $8.99. It
No.
was
Yeah,
$7.
it was $7 in
I feel
Canada.
like I'm paying like $12 or something like that for.
Are you paying for 2 Netflixes?
Yes, I am.
Maybe that's
I am. Yeah.
I'm only paying $8. I don't know about you. But
yeah. It was 7, and that's
Well-
Canadian Netflix, which is half as good, but $1 cheaper.
The second greatest Starfleet captain is speaking. So
Janeway.
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 What about Cisco? Anyway, I put this up for
He
you,
started
Mike.
off as a commander. So that's the whole.
See,
different-
I
different
feel
category.
exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, fuck long ads. There's no need for it. Picard knows.
Yeah, he's all about it.
Earl Grey hot. I get you, man.
Episode 7, guys. The trailer for The Force Awakens. It's insane. There's even a Japanese version that shows even more footage.
I stayed
on
away
top.
from the Japanese version. I was like, we're getting too close. It's too much. I do.
There's not much more. There's
I know,
not much more.
I know.
Can
but
we have a heartwarming story before it goes? Did you guys hear about the story about the guy who was
yes.
I just
terminally
heard
ill?
about that today.
Yeah, unfortunately he passed away.
He did just pass away.
But he did get to see, so
Well, good on them for
hopefully
showing
he
it,
enjoyed
right?
it, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's fantastic. But yeah, I read that earlier today. So
I'm
I
trying
just
to find his name. Unfortunately, I don't.
before
Still have
we
the
say
story
goofy,
up.
stupid shit, I just
Yeah.
wanted to.
He had a
No,
hashtag
it's-
like hashtag Force 4 Darren or Force 4, whatever
Yeah.
his name was.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
That was neat.
So sorry to be Captain Buzzkill on that.
No,
but-
well, you're not,
No,
because
no.
so let me paint a few things here from what we've seen. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry if I'm spoiling stuff for you, but I need to get this out. This is important.
Well, this
to
is
me.
speculation.
I've been burned before by Star Wars.
Well, clearly we
Yeah,
have some
we all
speculation
have.
on the board right here.
Luke's going bad. That's my I put that forward to the Midnight Society for your
Like
perusal.
Like Joker bad?
Like Joker bad.
I went there.
You went there. No, but seriously, you're not seeing a lot of him in
Not
the
seen any
trailers.
of them. He hasn't been in a trailer. Maybe his voice.
He also hasn't been on a poster.
No.
And the only glimpse that we assume we see is the hand touching R2 after some sort of serious incursion because everything's on fire.
I don't even
So
remember that. hand.
inconclusive.
I still
An
think,
inconclusive hand.
no, I think Luke is going bad.
I'm not disagreeing.
Okay.
I'm not. You know what? I think the way it's looking, there's a better chance of him going bad than anything else. But I want to know how bad. Like, is he going to be like the Super Saiyan of Jedis? Like, is he just going to be ripping shit up? Like,
Kamehameha or whatever.
yeah, like what? Like,
Kamehameha.
like
Sorry.
I don't know either.
where are we
Just know-
at in this badassery? You know what I mean? Like, he's like, if Luke Skywalker is going to be bad, like he's got some history to meet and surpass. You
Like
know?
you don't want him being like Watto bad.
No.
Annie. Why would you do that, Annie?
So more bad than that.
More bad than that. Is he going to don like the Vader suit? Like, like what's going to happen here?
Well, there's. I feel terrible because I really haven't been keeping up on it, but I know there's another Vader-esque character.
Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, we don't have Sith technically
Yeah.
in this that we've seen.
That we've seen, yeah.
So what we do have are the Knights of Ren,
Yeah.
who are just, from what I know, just crazed Vader followers. So if you've seen,
Because they don't. who knew that Vader's went
No
good
one.
at the end, right? Nobody
No one.
knew, right?
Yeah.
So
Only Luke and probably Leia at the end of it. That's it. I'm just saying, man. It just stands to reason, because if he's really following in his father's footsteps about the age, once he saved his father from the dark side, that would have been about the age that Anakin turned over, right? Just saying. Super Saiyan.
I could see that. I think that holds some weight. I would say that's not a bad theory. I really have nothing of value to add to that, but I do want to say I hope they don't make Harrison Ford lame as fuck.
I think he's dying. I think he's going to die.
Like actual?
Like, well, no. Well, he did crash a plane right after
Harrison
he finished
Ford will outlive us all.
He'll be in Fallout 4 or 18.
Well, I can tell you, Fallout characters don't have a good track record of staying alive.
The other reason I think that Luke is going bad is because they really need you to like the bad guy in this movie. Like, there's got to be some connection here, I think.
I suppose it's a tough sell to like just throw in a bad guy. Like I feel like they got really lucky in episode 1 with Darth Maul, because they kind of really did nothing, and then they also got rid of it.
They screwed themselves over with him all at the same time. Yeah,
you guys know nothing about the expanded stuff. He's not dead.
Yeah, I'm aware, but that you
chopped in half.
You can't count that.
Chopped in half.
When we're talking about like the cinematic universe, like they screwed up. I don't care. Like they tried to make up with it through a cartoon. Okay, good on you. But no, they fucked up big time there.
Still, I think that part of that was just the lightsaber in and of itself. So you put that lightsaber.
No.
If you had made Maul a woman, if you had changed, it was a twill instead of what the hell was he?
Darth Maul could have been a woman.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, severely change what you know about Darth Maul, and he still works because he has a double-bladed lightsaber. I'm sorry. Yes, I said
the look of him, like he just looked like, before you even saw,
you knew this guy,
the lightsaber. You're like, fuck,
this guy's gonna rip some ass.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, fuck, he's got horns for a face. It's all painted up.
Yes,
he was there to fucking kill people.
Like the double-bladed lightsaber was just like the icing on the cake, but like you were ready to chow down on some cake already.
Like what? Like was Count Dooku? Like when he walked in the room, it's like, fuck, poor Christopher Lee. Give this man a fucking
Who invited Dooku?
Isn't that fucking a tree from Zelda? Like who is this guy?
That was a sin. That was a real sin. I mean,
I don't think I have enough time to explain it, but if you go and Google Jar Jar Binks' secret role.
I know this theory. That was genius.
So basically, it was Jar Jar Binks is like the ultimate master of the Force. And you can tell from like his acrobatics how he manipulates people
into thinking he's an idiot.
Certain scenes where they have him falling or doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
Like the scene where he gets the like droid stuck to his leg and he's thrashing around and ends up killing like 6 of them.
Yep.
Huh.
Yep. The boomers right after that too. Like,
but like people had such a visceral like I hate Jar Jar Binks.
I didn't hate him.
They shoehorned Dooku in and like made this, but he was supposed to be like essentially like the Sith Yoda.
Huh.
Yeah.
I really wish they would have explored that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't it have made
it
like Attack of the Clones much better
out. Yeah.
Instead of Misa take on this grand responsibility. Sorry, Jar Jar, we gotta go.
Yeah.
Just go
later.
Yeah. Don't fuck up anything up while I'm gone, and just
all right. You just sit here and hang out with these people, and we'll be back later.
I think that I think Lucas had some issues just following his own press. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what it came down to.
It's a tough act to follow, man. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes. I wouldn't want to make three of the most beloved
fair.
movies of
And
all
he
time.
tried to take it somehow to another level with all like the effects, the 3D effects, but relied too much on CG.
Yeah.
But like he was using what would seem to be the latest and greatest, like he did with the original trilogy, right? Which was practical effects. But like, well, let me use CG and do more. But
speaking of that, because I know we've got a few seconds left, someone had mentioned to me that they saw the trailer, and it was the only person that I've talked to that was like, I didn't really care for the trailer because they were talking about how it looked like every other CGI movie, and they were supposed to be going back to a level. The trailer
for The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Wow. I disagree. I feel like there's definitely a hybrid. Like you always have to be modern.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And it even like for constraints and time.
Yeah. But I do feel like they've brought in enough practical elements from what I've seen only in the trailers now. But I do feel like they've brought in enough practical elements.
Not enough lens flares
to
give it time.
To like the my favorite thing, even as a kid, my favorite thing about the Star Wars universe was that it had grit. You know what I mean? Like it was a dirty, dusty universe.
Yeah.
It wasn't super shiny, wasn't super clean.
Yeah, it's not that vision of the future where everything is like super stainless steel.
Exactly. It wasn't utopian. You felt like things could break down for the dumbest of reasons. And there was just a grit and a dirtiness and filthiness to the universe. Like, and I really like that. And it's,
oh man.
I think that they've gotten it right. I think that I like the changes they've made to, the stormtroopers, the helmets. It's
aged.
It makes sense.
Properly.
The progression makes sense.
I think I think that they've put such an effort onto the practical effects that you can't realistically tell the difference now. And I think that's where a lot of it's getting buried is that like this is good. Like the effects and it's the combination that's what's key. Like that's where I think it's. But anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up.
No,
it was kind of legit. It was the only person I'd heard.
I'm excited. You guys excited?
I'm excited.
I'm very excited.
And despite myself, because I'm ready to be disappointed too.
I don't think.
And of course, he's not going to change anything.
Yeah,
You're
fine.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Well, we kind of brushed on this. Netflix and the constant war it has to be its own thing and then also give content from other people. Now, I guess we kind of have this as a disadvantage in Canada because Netflix in Canada
is like 60%.
Yeah, it's
version
60%. Yeah, it's like Netflix light. It's lame. Like just you still get all the original content.
Yeah.
I don't think Canadians lose on original content, but man, we just miss a lot of the good stuff. And that's because it has nothing to do with Netflix pissing off third parties. It's because we have like the most archaic set of broadcast laws in this country.
We have a lot of restrictions. Yeah.
Gotta have that Canadian content.
It's true.
It's good. True. It's good. It puts out really awesome things like the Logjammer song, but that's it's the only thing we've ever done of cinema.
Whirling down and down white water.
Yep. Not that we have any US viewers, but they're just like, I don't know what any
and Heritage
this is.
Minutes. It made Heritage Minutes.
Yeah, it's probably the greatest drinking game in Canada.
Yeah.
So there's that. But anyway,
so
someone have anything of value to say about this topic?
The question becomes, what's better on Netflix? House of Cards or the entire series of Homeland? You know what I mean? What is better suited for the viewer? Something that's generated that you can't get anywhere else, or something that no one's going to put back up anywhere else that you can get anytime?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a real conundrum as far as I'm concerned, because I want to have those series DVDs on my shelf. But then again, I only have so much shelf. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and you're just going to end up disappointed because speaking of someone that would watch the old stuff, so I love the X-Files. They just they re-released the X-Files because before they had the old like standard 4:3 prints. Now it's all widescreen remastered. It looks awesome, and that's on Netflix now. The remaster, which is great. I started watching them again just because it's the X-Files. I'll watch that. But yeah, it's a kind of a tough way to put it because I don't know what drives my subscription because I really enjoy their original content. They've got a lot of great stuff. They got a lot of crap now. A lot of stuff that they're kind of like more so tangentially involved. A lot of like really shitty comedians.
Yes,
that
too
they
many
sponsor.
many comedians. I like.
Are we talking
comedy.
about Wet Hot American Summer or whatever?
No, that
Like
is
this.
a cinematic masterpiece. No, just
Like the
stand-up
actual
comedians.
stand-up
Yeah.
comedy.
They're just like, Netflix. We produce this, and
Netflix
I mean, I guess that's great
It's
because
simple, it's cheap.
Yeah, it gives them an audience that they probably would never have. But like, there's no way to like. It's not like the Netflix star rating is giving me any sort of like
No.
qualitative advice about
No.
whether I actually want to watch this. I just kind of have to judge how Jewy looking is the guy to think if he's funny. That's rude.
horrible.
Yeah, it was.
That was horrible.
But I think what hurts Netflix the most is actually binge watching, especially on their original content. Like, because you mentioned Homeland, one of my favorite shows. Like, I like it more than Game of Thrones. It's an emotional roller coaster, guys. You got to check it out. But anyways, like the week to week format for that, it's like, I don't know, 8 to 10 episodes.
Yeah.
But the week to week format for that is solid. Like, I get 1 hour, 44 minutes to 60 minutes of content, of action. I get a cliffhanger and I'm like, oh crap. You know what I mean? And that's just that's all I'm thinking about. That's what I'm talking to my guys at the next day, Monday. I'm like, man, did you catch this? You need to watch it. What did you think of this? What do you think is going to happen? And you lose that with binge watching, right? Like everyone's in a different spots. I'll check it out. I am waiting for my day off. Oh, I need a full weekend. Like you're not going on that ride together, right? And then the pacing for a show that's intentionally coming out weekly, I find like they can really play with your emotions more week to week than a show that just drops all 10 to 12 episodes at once.
The other argument on that is that I don't have to wait for, like, I could parse it out day week by week, not do the whole thing in like a day.
Yep.
And you get it all at once. You know that there is a finite number and you have it in your hands and you don't have to wait.
But it doesn't keep the hype going, right? I think that's what hurts it
could,
Orange is
I
the New
guess.
Black. I think it hurts House of Cards. It hurts Daredevil.
I disagree. I'm hyped for season 2 of Daredevil.
I'm hyped for season 2 of Daredevil as well. But like the talk, right? The energy, it peaks so quickly and then dies so quickly, right? And then you have to wait for something else to resurge that other than the show. So it's like, oh, Jessica Jones. Oh, what? Remember Daredevil? Like it's something else that picks it back up, right?
I guess, but I think that's kind of changing in a way too, and not just because of Netflix, but because of, we'll say other streaming services. But I'm going to say that in air quotes and know that you mean torrenting. People might not have their HBO subscription or whatever.
But even with those,
but they'll be a day behind. They'll be a few days behind.
Few days behind. But there's always that sense of, oh crap, I can still catch up, right? But when you have 10 to 12 hours to watch a show to be caught up, you're like, fuck.
Let me tell you,
like, I really want to watch it, but when am I going to do it? You know?
So a unique situation that happened on Netflix was with The 100. In Canada, it was released weekly on Netflix, where the CW was putting it out live. So the States were not getting the content that Canadians were getting in this case. However,
want to trade Netflix since then.
I mean, I didn't find that experience to be that much more beneficial or something I'd be looking for over getting the whole thing at once. So I got to wait for, I think that was like 13 or 12 episodes for the first season. So I've got to wait 12 weeks in order to see the whole thing. And I think there may have even been 13 or 14 because they may have taken a hiatus in there as well. So I didn't have this, I wouldn't have had that experience, right? I have to still wait till I get home or till whenever I can watch it. It's not unlike iTunes.
Yeah. But you're not the first person who's mentioned the 100 to me, right? And like each week as a new episode kind of comes out, someone talks about it, so it brings it up. The next week, someone's going to bring it up again. The next week, and that's what I mean. Like it hockey sticks, right? It peaks, but then it stays up there, right? It stays in the consciousness. And I find when you drop all the episodes at once, it doesn't stay in the consciousness as well as a show that goes weekly.
I think it just doesn't stay as long though, because I mean, I remember when House of Cards seasons would drop.
But that was also in the very beginning of
suppose.
it, right? Like House of Cards doesn't have the grab that it used to. Neither does Orange is the New Black.
But also,
really.
House of Cards
I
is
feel
not as good as it used to be. And like I don't think that has anything to do with hype. I think you can objectively look at the first season versus the third season and be like, this is not the same show.
Yeah,
and Orange is an even bigger example is Orange is the New Black.
So to steer this back
to peaked and then crashed though. It did. Like Orange is the New Black, the second season peaked huge. It did.
Did it?
But it was a mountaintop. It peaked and then it dropped.
But I mean, bring this back to the topic, the main idea here. The example is given that, okay, is it better for Netflix to have its own series that's going to either go weekly or come all at once and still suffer from the same sort of slings and arrows, as it were, that a natural series is? I mean, people argue that the first season of Game of Thrones is better than the current season, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I think it sucks for consumers because I think Netflix is going to realize that probably their first party stuff is going to be the thing they want to build a subscription model on, and then that's going to mean that you're going to need other services like HBO Go, like Crave, like whatever. I mean, there's no Hulu in Canada, but whatever is going to be like the
Show Me
equivalent
is the other one, probably.
Yeah.
Show Me's not anything to show anybody. See what I did?
The puns. But I think that's how it's going to go, and it's just going to suck for consumers.
Yeah.
But I understand completely why they would do it.
Do you think them losing more?
True.
You like that?
Yeah. It's also very inconsistent when it asks you that because, if you're watching a half an hour thing, it'll ask you after 3. If you're watching an hour thing, it'll still ask you after 3.
Young Justice, I was going through that. It's like
twice the time.
3 episodes, then 8 episodes. Then it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Yeah, I'm still watching. Fuck you. Put an extra on.
Yeah.
Don't judge you, Netflix.
So, are we ready for the next battle?
Sure.
This is a battle that I'll start it off because I know very little about either character. Other than what I said previously, my Nightwing is a less gay Robin, which I don't know if that's true.
Well, like Nightwing was Robin
At one point.
That I did know.
And we're going by there
Dick
were
Grayson.
other versions like Silver Era and Golden Era that were different.
Oh yeah, no.
Nightwing.
This
We're talking about
Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson.
Nightwing. Yeah, original Robin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead because
Okay, so
Daredevil's a blind lawyer, and I already told you what I think about Nightwing. So there we go.
So I think myself, Nightwing is probably more the badass character than Daredevil.
Okay, so you're already wrong. So okay.
That's okay. That's all right for you to have that opinion. Okay, because I figured you would. You're a Marvel fanboy, and that's all right.
I'm a fan of good storytelling and great characters. Yes,
which is not solely located on the Marvel side of the fence, my friend.
Mostly.
Yeah, there's Image Comics.
Sick burn. So, Nightwing,
yes,
I think is the stronger hero because he is taught
sidekick
hero.
Hero. Okay.
So, just Follow my reasoning
No, I'm
here.
with you. I'm with you.
Okay. Trained by Batman.
Yeah.
Okay. Batman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Batman. I know I have everything.
Well,
Oh, I'm an orphan. Who isn't an orphan? Okay.
I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get across here.
All
okay.
right.
Trained by Batman, one of the baddest asses out there. Okay. End of story. I don't care. He's Batman. Second of all, okay.
But he's Batman. Grayson's not Batman. Batman is Batman. Batman is Bruce Wayne.
I'm not there yet.
Grayson
I'm not
is
there
Nightwing.
yet. I'm not there yet. Okay. So when Nightwing goes out on his own, okay.
I'm cool now because I know this guy.
Are you not afraid if like the baddest ass of badasses is like this guy's mentor? So he must know something. Plus, he had the patience to learn from him. That's got to be something in and of itself.
Then he went off to do his own thing,
and then when Batman died, he became Batman.
And then Bruce Wayne had to come back
because he
didn't have to come back. He just did come back.
Fucking up.
Yeah,
no,
it wasn't going as well.
I'm sorry.
Like right now, Commissioner Gordon is Batman. So like really anybody can just be Batman. I might be Batman tonight.
Similarities between the two. They both use those sticks.
Yeah.
They both have sticks. And
that's a great idea, Jeff.
The other thing is that, say what you will. Daredevil is a very smart man. He's a lawyer. He can hear with his.
I mean, he has a life, right? So he
can hear with it. Where are you going with that? He can hear with his hands.
With his hands, right? But all I'm going to say, he can't take a text. He can't read a text.
Wow, that's fucking cold.
It is, but it's true.
So, I mean, we have Daredevil, Matt Murdock. He's a lawyer by day, right? So he has a job, right? He's got to pay the bills. He runs a law practice with his law partner, Foggy Nelson. So he understands, like, what real people got to do, right? He doesn't live in a mansion. He doesn't have.
Are lawyers real people now?
And lawyers don't live in mansions? What lawyer?
What lawyer?
Actually, most lawyers. They don't
what
make
are you talking about?
You guys don't know the same lawyers I do, I guess.
Well, that's it. You sit in a house with a bunch of overprivileged lawyers.
Hey, now, easy.
Yeah.
They're not doing a whole lot of lawyering.
So yeah,
Easy.
I mean, let's go back to Murdoch here and his history first. So he was raised by his father, battling Jack Murdoch. He got his powers from a car accident, and irradiated material entered his eyes, entered his brain.
Something that isn't
senses.
unique in the Marvel universe. They had to use that again on Jessica Jones. I just wanted to point that out. That's how she got her powers, buddy. Sorry.
Okay.
What, being irritated? I don't think that. Pretty sure that's
Car accident with toxic waste.
Yeah, that's how Toxie the Toxic Adventure got his.
So there you
powers,
go.
too.
That's a Marvel character too, isn't it?
No.
Yeah. So his mother was out of the picture. Did come back in. She's a nun, and so on and so forth. Daredevil, Matt Murdock's a very religious character, and battles with that. Has his own set of demons that he deals with, as well. His power sets, he's obviously blind, but all of his other senses are heightened to a superhuman level. But he's also just a normal man. So his athleticism is all his own. So he's a well-trained human being, but his mentor was another blind man by the name of Stick, who developed his senses. He had to do it the hard way, but developed his senses, and then found Matt Murdock and helped him become a hero. I mean, Daredevil is
he didn't say sidekick. There.
Yeah,
a hero.
I'm sorry, but compared to a lot of the other Marvel universe, Daredevil would be relegated to a sidekick.
I mean, Daredevil's rolled with the Avengers, and I'm not sure
he wasn't driving, was he?
He was not driving.
How you get any higher than that?
Well, Nightwing's been in the JLA for sure.
Because like Batman dragged him in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Batman dragged him in.
Batman needed a ride back after they were getting hammered.
When your dad owns the club, like, of course you get a membership.
Shit. Here's another
My
point.
dad got me into Princeton.
Here's another point. Put these two in a ring together. I think Nightwing's going to do just as well as Murdoch would because he is that athletic. He is that well-trained. He is that expert. Murdoch has superpowers. So I'm knocking that against him. He's got an advantage that he has to use. Take that away from him, and he's not going to do as well.
He also has a pretty big
But you can't take the powers away from him. That's the whole point. That's what makes him. That's what defines Daredevil. You can't remove that and be like, well, he wouldn't do any good.
Superman would be pretty lame if he took his powers away.
I still think
He'd just be man.
I still think Nightwing is the better martial artist out of the two because he doesn't have the powers that
no, I
Daredevil
disagree.
is.
The Daredevil's heightened senses of smell, and touch, and his radar sense gives him a clear advantage over Nightwing.
Especially if it's
advantage
raining.
over Nightwing.
I remember that.
No, raining allows him to see Jennifer Garner's face.
Speaking of that, I noticed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves from the left top. Last
Yeah, I see
DVD.
it. Yeah, Daredevil. I see it.
No. 5. Go one more. The last DVD on the 5th.
Elektra. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I run a quality ship here.
Yeah,
Jeff.
no.
So
No way.
let's talk
Nightwing
about morals.
couldn't get the jump.
Let's talk about morals a little bit here. Yes, Murdoch is a.
I'm going to tell you right now, Daredevil does what he has to do to get the job done.
Yeah, but Daredevil complains all the time that he's got this Catholic guilt. He's, Father, I'm killing people. I'm doing stuff wrong.
He doesn't kill people.
Well, I'm exaggerating that point.
He doesn't kill people.
Okay, Father.
You like to exaggerate a lot. You're calling him a hero when he's a sidekick. Like, come on, man.
Father, I've got
Get
all
the
of
facts
I've got all
straight
of this
here.
Catholic guilt.
Yeah,
okay,
he's Catholic. Of
Boom.
course he has guilt.
but he's a womanizer. Murdoch is a womanizer.
He's
In a lot of the comics, he's represented as nothing but a pussy hound.
And what's Dick Grayson?
Not to the
Read
degree.
Oh my
not
God!
to
Read
the
some
degree.
Grayson. No. Read some
Okay,
Grayson.
okay. Starfire.
Read some Grayson.
Let's see. Starfire. We got Barbara Gordon.
Barbara Gordon.
Is that like Mrs. Gordon?
No. It's Batgirl.
Huntress,
It was
maybe,
Batgirl,
or
Huntress. And even in the new Grayson comics, I don't keep up with him regularly, but yeah, man, like he's an over sexualized guy. Like he's
no. He's got one hand of
Batman's
X's.
hand? Batman's
Versus
hand?
he's got one Batman's hand full of X's versus Murdoch's.
Maybe
like,
he doesn't keep up with his mentor Batman, but I no, that's not a valid argument in my book. But yes, I mean Daredevil, yeah, he's gone through quite a bit. And he, a lot of them die.
It's true.
But that doesn't make him any less of a hero, and still, in my book, gives him the edge in this argument.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think he's got him in the martial arts. I think his senses get him every time.
You gotta love that
That's
one.
pretty good. I think his senses give him the edge in the martial arts. I think the fact that he's a real street level hero right now, like Grayson is a spy, working for Amanda Waller. Like it's some old bullshit, right? Like Grayson's always has these lifelines. Oh, I help me out, Batman, help me out, Amanda Waller. Like no, Daredevil is doing it on his own,
Which is as dangerous as
taking care of business on the streets.
TCB.
All right, Mike. I guess you'll have to be the judge. But
I pick Elektra.
the proper thing.
This was the only choice that I could come up.
Fair enough.
So, moving on.
Moving on.
Oh boy.
Fallout
Right.
4 drops.
This is all you.
So now we get to hear about bottle caps, and it's the VATS system. Is it?
VATS.
Very
Vault-Tec
very hard to shoot. I find.
Vault-Tec assisted targeting system.
I'm sorry, I can't do anything with that game. Anyway, take it away.
Well, I just wanted to point out that Fallout came out today, and I reluctantly agreed to sit here and do this podcast because I'm just like fucking jonesing right now. I started up my game. I already had a bunch of issues. Not well, yeah, with the game, I guess a little bit. But in Halifax, we have our own, in Nova Scotia, we have our own time zone. That's not Eastern time, it's Atlantic time. And apparently that's not good enough to warrant actually releasing at midnight. So I had to wait till 1 o'clock. Very disappointed. But I booted the game up. It looks really good. I've only played like an hour, so I can't really say if it's, I hear a lot of negative criticism. There are some weird graphic issues, but that could just be, I haven't gone and played with the settings. It could just be how I have things set up. But so far it looks promising.
So take us through the first hour.
So you start, like, I won't ruin the game, I guess, because it was pretty much the E3 trailer, but you start, so people think that Fallout happens in like the 50s. It doesn't. It's actually like in the 2050s, the 2070s. So why it's confusing is because it basically takes the idea that when we went through the Cold War era, we never really left it. We kept being, rah, all the wonderful things about the 50s. And we just kind of kept on going through that. The transistor was never invented, so all the technology looks weird because it's still like that mix of like vacuum tubes and stuff like that. So everything's really like big and old looking, but it is still in the future. So it's I don't know the actual year, sometime between 2050 and 2070. You're in your sweet little 50s-esque town. You wake up and you look in the mirror and you fix your face. That's how the game starts.
That's the character organization. Nice.
Then you can switch to your wife if you'd rather fix her face, I guess. And then you play with your kid and talk to your robot. And then this guy comes to the door and says, you want to go in the vault if something bad happens because you served in the military? It's like, well, yeah, I guess so. Sure. And then, lo and behold, something bad just happens right
What were the
as soon as you buy the insurance, you have to use it.
So you're like, shit, the bombs are coming. You run up to the vault and then you go in the vault. But with all the vaults, there's always a trick. So the thing about the vaults in any of the Fallout games is almost every vault has an ulterior motive. And in this one, so the vaults are meant to obviously keep you safe from the fallout, right?
Right.
You live in the vault for a couple of years and then you come back, and each vault is supposed to have what's called a geek, which is a Garden of Eden creation kit. So you go back, you use the geek, and you make this peaceful town, and you rebuild civilization or whatever I guess you're supposed to do. But all the vaults have this kind of little catch to them. And in this case, they cryogenically froze all of the people in the vaults. And at some point you wake up, so obviously there's very poor science into this because you go into your pod, your wife goes into her pod, and she's just holding the baby. Like, that's a good fucking idea. Like, I
don't know. It could be the science.
You just hold the kid. I'm sure it won't be a problem if
happens
there are
on airplanes.
If there are two people here. So you kind of wake up and you have no idea when you wake up, but you see these two people go and de-thaw your wife and baby, and he shoots your wife and takes the baby.
Wow.
And you're stuck in the pod, and then you go back to being frozen again, and then you wake up at some point later. Your wife is still in the pod, but you have no idea if she's alive or dead. Your kid's gone, and then like the vault is all fucked because there's rad roaches everywhere, and then you go out and you have to do stuff. That's the point where I'm at. I'm at the point of doing
going
stuff.
Out and doing stuff.
But it's in Boston, so the thing with Boston is it has the Institute, which is MIT, what it turned into. And it basically is a lot of like very kind of like the scientific minds got together, and there's always kind of like a few stories within Fallout with like the scientific community. One of the expansions was called had a place called the Big MT, which is basically like a secret mountain where they were doing all kinds of crazy scientific experiments. The Institute is known for creating synths, which are synthetic robots, so robot android people.
Okay.
So that's going to factor into the story. The Brotherhood of Steel, which is like the typical thing you picture with Fallout, is also in Boston. They're the guys with the huge power armor. They're in Boston. So there's lots of like stuff that's going around. So it looks good.
So where do Matt Damon and Ben Affleck fit into this?
I didn't realize that.
Goodwill Pip Boys or whatever they are.
Oh yeah, man. They're just hanging out, waiting. They're just solving all the
equations at the big MIT or whatever.
Yeah, to make a synth.
Yeah,
I guess that's what they're waiting for. Maybe you play, because when your guy starts off, he is a little Affleck-esque, the default one. So maybe you have to get there.
You start off as Affleck, and hopefully by the end of the game, you're Matt Damon.
I guess Matt Damon does seem to be rescued an awful lot. So
he's dreamy.
Well, I'd spend any amount of money to rescue Matt Damon 3 times.
So
the other thing too. So the first thing, I don't think I finished my point when we started. StarCraft also, the end of the StarCraft trilogy released today, and the new Tomb Raider game. All of which no one gives a fuck about, which is too bad because
the new Tomb Raider game.
I was out there for both launch dates for StarCraft. I went in line. I remember sitting and watching launch. They had like a launch event with like Day 9, who's a pretty like prominent caster in StarCraft, just hanging out playing, and I was like on my phone chewing through data, watching him because I was so amped up to see. And this, I didn't even buy it. Sorry, Blizzard, I didn't buy it mainly because
Bethesda got your money.
You know what? Blizzard / Activision, and let's just call it Activision at this point, are doing some fucking shit things with every part with Warcraft, with StarCraft, with Diablo, with Heart of the Swarm, Overwatch. They just announced you can pre-order Overwatch, which is their new TF2. Yeah, it's like a shooter.
Yeah.
It's a lot like TF2. You can pre-order. You can for like $40 or something like that. No idea if you get all the characters, what content you get. They're just like, no, you can buy the game. You can pre-order it. You want to pre-order it? You want to give us $40 for what? It's a game. It's a game. That's it. That's nothing about it. So as much as I will play StarCraft and finish it out because I am a Protoss player and it is the Protoss campaign, but it's just such a bummer, especially for Tomb Raider.
But I mean, again, I know nothing about Fallout, but isn't it like 7 years since the last Fallout game?
Yes, yeah. So Fallout 3 was made by Bethesda. Fallout New Vegas was made by Obsidian.
Right.
They basically got the engine, said make a game. Most people would say that New Vegas was the better game. It was a lot glitchier, which is an impressive statement when you picture Bethesda games, because anyone who's played Fallout or Skyrim, any of the Elder Scrolls games, knows that it's just rife with bugs.
Yep.
Everything you do, frame rate drops, people falling through, it's bad. And Fallout 4 has already shown that. One of the things that I noticed, and again, I turned down my AA settings, but every time someone speaks and you're in this kind of like camera mode and their head moves, they get this weird wave of particles like in the background. And it's very like, I don't know if it's a lighting effect thing or what, but you just kind of see this like flowy, like cloud background thing. Like I'll go in and play with it because I feel like it's more my settings than the game, but it's like, what the fuck is this? Like, but yeah.
But it's been a long time between games. That's why it's so popular, I think.
It's the thing about it. The reason why it's so popular is, I think, the backstory is really cool. There's a lot of lore, a lot of like in most RPGs, but it's a very like tongue in cheek. It's a very self-aware game. Most of the quests, like the side quest, the mission is very serious. Like the main quest is a serious thing. Everything else is a total fucking joke. Like and I think that's like the humor is really, and that's why New Vegas was probably a lot more beloved because they like they cranked that up to 11.
Okay.
So my
Jesus,
You gotta love that, eh?
Ew.
It's true.
I didn't get the Pip-Boy edition of Fallout, in case you're concerned.
Well, I know you did get the rail runner or whatever it is from BioShock.
The Skyhook.
Yeah, the Skyhook from BioShock.
I also have the Lady Columbia too.
There you go.
So
I was expecting you to get a Pip-Boy or something.
I just I couldn't pre-order it in time.
So for like my PC is crap.
Yeah.
And I was talking to you earlier about upgrading it. Is Fallout 4 worth putting together a new PC for?
See, that's a tough thing because it's one of the few games that, like, I honestly wouldn't recommend Fallout games to people that hadn't played one before.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to play one, it's going to play a lot more like a shooter now than like a kind of RPG with shooter elements. They've really kind of tooled it more to the first person shooter because that's the way, you see the success of games like Borderlands and Destiny.
Right.
You look at that and you're saying, okay, this is, gamers like this style of games. And it's a lot more fluid and that part of it's a little more fun. But I think if you start at Fallout 4, you'd be hard pressed to go back unless you really, really liked that kind of kitsch stuff that goes on in the side missions.
Right. Okay.
So if you're not a fan already, I don't know. It's not a good entry game.
No. Good answer.
So
not a good entry game, but is it a good game otherwise? Are you enjoying it?
Well, the first hour has been really fun. Honestly, they could have just shown me, like, the game could have played the trailer for like 60 minutes and I would have been like, yeah, this is good. I can't wait. So I don't know. I went out and I found my dog. So that's good.
We're running up on time here. So.
Well, yeah. And no one really cares about my dog. Anyway. I'm Mike.
Jeff.
I'm Mark.
And go play Fallout if you like Fallout.
See ya.